Welcome to Sloss and Humphreys on the Road, our very first Patreon episode. So if you're a member of our Patreon, you get early access. You're listening to this on Monday. If you listen to this anywhere else, you've got it from Wednesday onwards in the cheap seats at the back. So thank you to the Patreons who signed up. They're the reason this podcast went ahead, because we were about to peter out into obscurity, and now we're continuing to go forever and ever and ever and a day plus one. This is a fun episode. Where it's a bit melancholy at the start. We start like reminiscing about the old world and that, and being a bit sad, but then we cheer up and start talking about porn. So classic Muggins and Cream all the way. Enjoy. And if you're not signed up to Patreon already, you should maybe do that, and you'll get your next episode early, and you're gonna get some bonus content now that we're about to record right now. All right, look, go and listen to this podcast where we record that. And that, right, I'm talking too much. Bye.
Sloss and Humphreys on the road.
Muggins and Cream, Cream and Muggins, straight thuggin', living the dream.
And that's our intro.
Fucking muggles.
Tickling the clit inside your head that makes you laugh. They said it can't be done.
Are we in the same seats?
That's hack.
Ah, muggles.
Accidental rim job in the park.
Kiss, kiss, kiss.
Or am I just being cynical?
Muggled it up on fucking Mugglepedia.
Where have you been since 9/11?
If you want to be my Muggins, you've got to get with my cream. These boys are straight thuggin', they're living the dream. So what do you think about that?
I mean, you've just taken the, well, I was going to say the standard intro, but put a song to it. It's very, very Steve Gribbin of you.
Just put on it.
Just put it's very musical comedy of you, like the, you know, not to
Disparage.
Not to disparage many musical comedians, but you know the musical comedians that just
Change the words to songs?
just change the word to songs, and they're like, why don't we get famous? And we're like, well,
But I mean, that's what I was doing,
aye,
but not as a career.
no,
Do you like the jingle?
sure.
That was a little bit of bang for the buck for the Patreons, because by the way, happy Monday to the Patreons. Thanks for subscribing. And
Oh, so they get this early, do they?
They get it. There's some people listening on Wednesday for free. All of the topical jokes have aged terribly.
Especially,
in fact, there's some really dated stuff in there. We'll look
especially
bad.
nowadays when it's fucking new, lots is happening all of the time anyway. So
Aye, I kind of keep up with it, or formulate an opinion on it based on the fucking barrel. Like, obviously, you can make some firm opinions on some stuff, but there's just so much shite in the news and on social media that you're like, I want to know what the real story is, but how do I sift through this anymore?
aye, there's no more. It's to go out there and work out what's happening. It's a fucking study. You've got to get like 7 different sources and then find the common through it. Right, so that bit's true because that's mentioned in all 7. But these have decided to spin it this way, and these have decided to spin it this way, and this is being spun that way. And you go, is there any fucking news that just goes, here's... Back in the day, that's what they'd sit down on telly and they go, hello, my name's John. Probably didn't even say their fucking name because it didn't matter. It wasn't about being a celebrity back then. Like, hello, I'm the newscaster. Tomorrow it's going to rain. Today it was snowy. There's a new Prime Minister. Now on to sports. And that was it.
These are the things that happened.
Aye. And I don't have an opinion on these things because that's not what I'm paid to do.
The newspapers aren't trying to steer you in a direction of... In the opposite direction to other newspapers, they're steering people in opposite directions on every topic, so that you get angry at the other side.
Aye, so you don't pay attention to the top ones.
So I was finding in the election, I was trying to I was reading the news outlets that I knew the fucking muggles while reading.
Aye.
You know,
The Daily Mail. The
majority.
Children's newspapers.
Yeah, and then
easily read, like there's just, it's not even a news, but it's the fucking tabloids of, here's your opinion, ready served. That's what these tabloids do. You go, what do I think today? Right? I don't want to hear a news story, right, and then compare it to my morals, my ethics, and then work out how I feel about it. I'd much rather be spoon-fed what my exact fucking thoughts are. Thank you, The Sun and the Daily Mail.
you start getting angry about shit that you couldn't care less about.
Oh, it's wild.
I'm getting really worked up about the royals. The fucking Kardashians.
I still can't. I can't even pretend to give a fucking shit about any of them. Like, from the bottom of my heart, fuck the Queen and fuck Meghan Markle. I don't care.
Aye.
but Meghan Markle didn't do it. She joined the royal family. She's as bad as them.
Okay, I watched that interview. Did you watch it?
No.
I sat down and watched it, and just out of interest, you know, like I had my curiosity piqued about what was going on, and it's just all a fucking circus. The whole thing, it's fucking like some kind of fucking panto. It's like,
Guy,
all
there's
these
a
titles
there's a paedophile in that family who none of them are dealing with. Every last fucking one of them, including Meghan Markle and Harry, are fucking complicit in that. There's a pedophile in the fucking world, and nothing's happening.
In the Oprah interview, one of the first things she said is that nothing's off limits to talk about. This is no holds barred. Like, really fucking selted as like, we're gonna dive into everything. Not a fucking mention that there was a pedo in the ranks.
Aye.
Around her children, you know, and child, and you're just like, is it off limits though? Did you literally lie to her in the fucking start of the interview?
Aye.
Is that what happened?
Also, it's
or did you just forget to bring up the fact that there's a fucking straight up pedo?
A literal pedophile.
In the palace.
Aye. You know the guy that went to. There's no proof that he fucked a kid, but he did go to Paedophile Island on several occasions with Lord Paedophile himself. To be fair, they could have been playing squash, but I imagine they were playing squash my balls between the ass cheeks of a child. Noncery. Why am I meant to respect anyone in that fucking family or care about? Fuck them all. Fuck every last one of them.
And there's part of us that was going like, all of the stuff that you said should have been a deal breaker early doors to just not follow through with that relationship. Like, and I have all right, romance and true love and all that, right? But if I had gotten an ounce of that static off Natalie's family, right? Who I fucking Natalie, I love with all of my heart, right? But the way Meghan was talking about that life that she'd fucking bought into to be with him, like, I wouldn't have gotten past the dating phase. And I love my wife dearly, but all of those things that you mentioned were utter deal breakers. Like, bin the cunt.
Aye.
Bin him.
But, well, that's the bit. Like, I absolutely have sympathy for her because I think the media attention on her is and has been fucking barbaric. I mean,
awful.
You just have to.
Awful.
I don't pay attention to. All you have to do is look at who's on what side, and you can kind of work out what the right side of the story to be on is. Like, the second you see certain people going, "Well, she's done this," I'm like, "Oh, is that what you think?"
When you see that people are more upset about the whitest black girl you've ever seen, right? More than they are about a paedophile.
A literal pedophile.
You go, that means you're the most racist piece of shit that's ever walked this fucking earth. So if anybody's like Team Royals and not Team Meghan at any point, you know exactly who you are.
Aye. You genuinely, what's the fucking word? You're a pedo apologist. That's it. Like, it's just, you don't get to have any fucking moral ground if you've got anything against Meghan Markle because there's a fucking pedophile that's not been fucking questioned.
So if you're invested in the royal family enough to be outraged about the prince's wife, you are absolutely invested enough to be outraged about the other prince's victims.
Yes, aye. There's many, 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 many children he fucked.
So if the lane you are in is Meghan's a conniving cunt, the lane you are also in is fucking, hold on, we've got bigger fish to fry.
Aye. It's just not fucking worth it. I mean...
And again, this is us talking about what the media's wanting us to talk about. Like,
well, to be fair, there is fuck all else to talk about.
That's true. That is true. And I haven't been watching too much news anyway. It makes it dead sad.
I haven't watched the news in ages, and
there's some things you get. I mean, I do want to cover some topics on this podcast, like the shit that went. Well, here now, the shit that went down in London.
Aye.
The vigil.
Sarah Everhart. Aye.
In the police fucking. What the fuck was that about?
I've not seen any of it. I don't watch the news.
Well, basically there's a vigil, not a protest, but in some media, this is again where I get fucking outraged with the media, man. In some media outlets, they've labelled it as a protest. They've protested. No one's protesting. They're holding candles. And yes, people are angry. So maybe they're not on the street protesting, but they're on the street angry that they're not safe. And then the police put their hands on them.
Aye.
What the fuck? So I get angry, I get speechless, I don't know how to react, I don't know what to do with me. I mean, I've got a small voice on the social media platform, but I don't know what to do with my voice.
Oh, mate, trust me, using your voice does not always have the best fucking consequences for yourself. Believe me.
Aye, seen that.
Aye. That's why I'm off fucking Twitter forever now. That's me done. Handed it over to Marlene. I went, change the password, do whatever you want. I'll never log in again.
Twitter's done for you.
Done. Facebook I managed to free myself off about fucking 4 years ago. Like, that was when I stopped. I did go on Facebook the other day, just on Twitch, just when I was doing Daydream with Dan, just got to go through, like, all the old photos that I still had on Facebook.
Ah, nice.
Fuck, we were young.
Nostalgia's funny.
Aye, we used to be fucking children. Well, I mean, you were still an adult when I was a child. But
I just look like Prince Andrew holding your hand to gigs. So I've been not diving that far back into nostalgia. I started listening to our podcast back from episode 1, so I can just like cut things out and put them onto the Patreon, so I can like get like, you know, the old Muggle corners and just some like clips, like 2 to 5 minute clips of like conversations we've had. It's funny listening back. We were stoned always.
aye.
I say it to you while you're stoned.
No. I'm a drug addict, so I'm slowly dealing with that.
We couldn't do one of these podcasts without pausing it for a spliff break twice.
I think it was.
I think they were more entertaining back then and more or less sad.
Aye, but I think that was back when spliff was fun for me. That was back when it was like, hey, we're doing a podcast, we might as well fucking be high for it, which is opposed to what marijuana's become in the last fucking 3 years, which is a painkiller.
Aye.
Especially during all this. So I've just like, I've come off weed now, not forever, but for a period of time, just because I was fucking. It was getting to the point where I was sitting going, how do I get it into my hotel, like my quarantine hotel when I'm in Australia, and then I had to go, listen to yourself.
Aye.
Like, that is the most addicty fucking shit in the world. Like, you can't go fucking 2 weeks. So, and I've always had this thing, like, you know, in December, I was like, I'll go sober in January, right? Or for the past couple of weeks, it's like, when I go to Australia, I'll just go sober then. And it's always some fucking distance point in the future. I was just like, nah, I'll just stop now, just for a bit. Just fucking put my hands back on the wheel, because Jesus has his hands on the wheel for a while, and fucking hell, he made me a drug addict. I think he knows it makes me more spiritual.
It's going to be so funny when you come into quarantine and you just fucking instantly like go, well, that's what alcoholics do, you know, right? Alcoholics will go like, I'm going to go 100 days without drinking, and they can do it.
And then after that.
And then after the 100 days, they're like, boom. So it's actually like what you're doing now about dealing with your drug addict tendencies is showing bigger footprints of being a drug addict.
Aye, but I'm not. I'm just gonna. I've gotten rid of my pen.
Have you?
Yep. My thing is now, what I'm going to try to do is it's just got to be recreational, and it's not recreational if you own it. Like there's nothing.
You've got to get it in for recreation.
Aye, there's nothing recreational about having a drawer of weed. Like, that's not. Like, that's just there. So I've gotten rid of my fucking pen, and I'm just going to try and get fucking. Well, I'm just going to... There was a time in my life when I used to be able to... Like, if I woke up fucking miserable or whatever, I'd be able to do it myself. Whereas I was going for the easier step. Like, I still have it within my arsenal to fucking be in a good mood. Just weed was the cheat.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's easier ways to feel good. What you do is you get up, right? You fucking meditate. You go for a fucking 3-minute warm shower, a 1-minute cold shower. You fucking do deep breathing. You fucking... have a lovely healthy breakfast. You go for a run. You exercise. And that makes you feel good by 12 o'clock. Or strawberry cough at 9 a.m.
That's just like wake and bake. Good old fashioned wake and bake.
Good old fucking fashioned wake and bake. And the problem with me is it just got to the point where, especially during this, you know, it's the pandemic, man. It just compresses fucking everything. Like, I was doing it every day, and I was just like, and it wasn't affecting my life, but I was just like, that's not a good enough thing. Like, you can't wait until it ruins your life before you fucking stop it.
So have you got Colin on the same page as you? Is like, we're both living this life, do you want to come with us on trying to sort it out, or is he just happy to just go on down that direction?
Cullen's not as bad as me. Cullen's very good. Cullen can go, you know, he'll do it at 8 p.m. you know, his is still, because he's only been smoking weed for 2 years now, so it's still like new to him. So I don't think he's in a position where it's in control of him.
Yeah.
But it was absolutely in control, and it still is in control of me. Like every morning I've woken up the past week, Cara's been like, "How are you?" And I'm like, "I want weed." Like, I'm not going to. Like, it's not like a difficult thing where if you put the fucking weed in front of me, my hand's shaking towards it, and I'm like, it's like the one ring, and I'm like, I just need the power. But if you were to...
You're not going to suck a dick for it.
I'm not going to suck a dick for a split. Like, it's not that bad. But you would struggle to name any moment that my brain doesn't think can be improved by marijuana.
Yeah. Well, I've always had the thing about marijuana, and we've spoken about this before, is that... for me, it's like you've got a busy desktop, you've got a lot of things open. Like, I look on my Mac and I've got like Audacity's open, OBS is open, fucking my internet browser's open, my banking's open. Like, I've got a bunch of shit that's like in my life, right? And then just having a spliff just closes a few of them windows. And then I leave one of the windows open, and it's Netflix or something, right?
No.
Like, so basically, in me own mind, I've got a bunch of shit going on. I'm moving into this house. I'm fucking wondering, like, trying to sort my diary out for when the gigs reopen. I've got all these things going on. It's constant fucking multiple bubbles of like cloud bubbles, thought bubbles above your head. And having a spliff just switches a couple of them off. Now, the thing is, the reason that them windows are open, the reason that them thought bubbles are above your head, is because they need to be addressed.
Right.
And if you're constantly minimising them,
Well,
you're never addressing them. So the niggling feeling of them of shit that you need to get done is just going to grow, and that's probably where like paranoia and
aye, that sort of, yeah, because it's just in your head. For me, it is. It's the shutting off not the voices in my head, because I guess that makes me sound schizophrenic, but just like your inner monologue becomes funner.
Aye.
It becomes kinder to you. Like, my inner monologue is. I mean, my inner monologue during this isn't great. Like, during this fucking pandemic's not good. So marijuana was the thing that just made it. Hey, who gives a fucking shit? There's nothing else to do in the day.
yeah. And I you know what, I like getting high because it makes it silly. I like having like a drink because it makes it silly. Like, I'm a lot duller when I'm not high and not drunk. So they are good, like social lubricants, right?
Aye.
But you're not treating it as such. It's not a social lubricant for you. It's just you're fucking...
Aye, it's just
You're
the...
lubing yourself up to sit there and play on your phone.
Aye, but yeah, just because if I did that sober, I'd beat myself up for it.
Aye. So you just get yourself a hall pass.
Aye. But it's also, like, I still need to learn how to... I mean, I know we've had a fucking year and a half off, but, you know, I'm still bad with time off. Like... Because so much of our time off used to be condensed, right? We'd go on tour for 4 months, and then I'd be home for 2 weeks or 3 weeks before I had to fly to Australia, and then I'd be home for 2 weeks before I had to fly to America.
You could cherish that time off.
You fucking condense the time off. You go, right, and those 3 weeks, because I've been on tour, I'm going to fucking smoke weed as much as I want because I'm fucking home. I'm going to chill. I'm going to lie on my couch because I've not been home for ages. I'm going to sit in my house. I'm going to fucking play Xbox, and I'm going to eat like shit because I tried my best on the road, mate, quite well there, but I want to. And so when I've been home this entire time, my brain's just been like, class, this is the longest 3 weeks in the entire fucking world.
It's Bruce Bogtrotter from Matilda. You know, when he has a bit of cake because he likes the cake, and then Mrs. Trunchbull's like, "You want cake?"
Oh, I hate it.
Fucking eat all of that cake, mate. Like, oh no.
But I did do it. I finished all the weed. I smoked all the marijuana.
Well, I keep having little, like, because I can't get enough done in a day that I want to get done. I'll write myself little lists, and I'll have in my head that even if the stuff that I want to get done is like watch the rest of the Mandalorian season, knit a bit of my hat, right? Even if it's recreational stuff that I want to get done, play a little bit of fucking PlayStation, right? As well as a list of things that I've got admin wise and like stuff for the online content, like. I'll have like little lists like that, and I'll feel like I take the tiniest chunk out of it in a day, and I'm like, those fucking 16 hours there, how did I manage to spread them so fucking thin across the things I want to get done? I've managed in fucking 3 weeks to watch 3 episodes of The Mandalorian. How am I too busy for that? I bought a computer game, Bloodborne, I think it was. I haven't started playing it yet. I bought it 2 weeks ago. I'm like, where's my time management? How have I like decided, I've got all this time off, I want to do these things. Yet there's still a bunch of shit that I haven't done, and I just can't. It's like time's gone fucking abstract for us.
Aye. I tried my fucking hardest at the start to have a fucking daily routine, like a drug addict. Fucking, that's that great fucking Pete Holmes line. I don't make my bed. Why would I make my bed? What am I, recovering alcoholic and I need structure in my life? I don't make my bed.
That's brilliant.
But it's so fucking true, man.
I'm getting into a right fucking just normal muggle day loop now.
Aye.
Where I'm going to bed at the same time, I'm getting up at the same time, I'm working out at the same time, meals are the same time, they're on a plan.
No.
Like, we're going to the shop on the same time on a Sunday for a click and collect. Well, like, I'm in that routine, right, where you could press fast forward in your life and get old and die. Like, there we are, lock it in. Lock it in.
This forever
Fast
now.
forward, and then, like, if somebody suggests something spontaneous, I'll be like, well, that would break the routine.
Yeah, but where am I gonna fit that in? Son, did you when I click? I pick up-
Bindi.
That is the part. Like, I know we all do, but I do wonder the fucking long-term effects of this fucking pandemic. First of all, we're all going to be socially autistic when we come out.
It keeps dawning on us about this as well, that like the magnitude of it, even after a year, right? Just driving to yours now, and then realising I wanted to swing to the pharmacy before I come here, right? And I'm like, oh, have I got my mask? And I check the little side pocket of my car, and the mask's there. And I'm just like, oh, this is just fucking life now. Like, I wouldn't have been able to go to the shop without that mask, and that shop's only open because it's a pharmacy.
There's
and
nothing
there's
else.
so much shut, and it's like, because I'm so conditioned myself to live in this little bubble that I've just spoke about with my routines, that, like, I'm forgetting that there's a much bigger world than the one that I've just fucking snow globed myself into. And like you said, we're going to be socially inept.
We're not gonna know how to talk to each other. I think a lot of people are going to suddenly develop social anxiety. They're going to go out. They're going to be a big group, and they're going to go, "How do you do this again? Like, how do you talk to your friends? What do I do if my friend's talking, and I want to say, do I just interrupt them or do I wait? What's the fucking rules again? How do we? I think there's going to be a generation of shite kids as well. And it's
Bless them.
It's not going to be their fault, but like,
Nah, like, oh.
and all to save the lives of the worst generation that ever walked the fucking planet.
So they can vote Tory again.
And then fucking die. Oh, it makes absolutely no sense. I mean, my third fucking lockdown, the third kick in for my mental health. So a bunch of 85-year-old cunts who dodged war because they were too young for it, but demand the respect of hiding in a fucking
Who could have
bunker.
stayed in anyway.
Oh.
Nah. It's I've kind of got this little hope that we're gonna have a little stutter when we first come out of it, where we've got a little bit of Stockholm syndrome to our own little ecosystem that we've built.
Aye.
Like what I was saying, that little routine, that snow globe that we're in. There's gonna be a little bit of like, you're not going to want to step too far outside of that little comfort zone you've built for yourself, but the first couple of big experiences that you have, whether it's your first concert, your first festival, your first holiday, and you just get that rush of social energy again, I think then that'll be when we'll like start having a lust for life again.
I think it's...
And you'll not take it for granted like you might have done in the past.
That's why I said, because I'm off to Australia next week, and Jean's obviously very excited because she hasn't seen me in so long. And
Fucking love Jean. I miss Jean a lot.
I miss her greatly. But it was very, very funny because I was speaking to her the other day, and like, look, we've all changed during fucking lockdown. We all grow, we all learn and stuff. But I just talking to her, I realised the last time Jean saw me compared to me, like last time Jean saw me was in me deep in the depression of fucking X. That was me when we were in Australia, the fucking 2 shows a day, like just me.
Yeah, just after Hong Kong.
Yeah,
Just after when the bubble burst in fucking...
So the last time Jean saw me, was that when, and that's me in full fucking tour mode, which is don't fucking talk to me unless you have something very important to tell me. Otherwise, let me stay in my own head and wallow in my own misery. I don't want to go out. I don't want to do this. Blah 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 blah. To now where she's just like, so when you come, we can do whatever you want. I'm like, Jean, I'll go to art museums. I'll go to fucking cat cafes. I'll go to
karaoke.
Like, I'll do fucking anything. It's not only have I been locked down in my, in my house for a fucking year and a half now, but I'm going to be in a hotel for 2 fucking weeks. I promise you, the second I come out of that quarantine, I'm never going to want to step foot inside of a hotel again. But then, if I'm being fucking honest, man, there's this really, I talked about it on Twitch the other day, and I don't know if you can fucking relate to it or whether it's just a miserable bastard thing. But it becomes such a fucking big part of your identity in my head when I fucking picture myself out in Australia, just fucking in me jorts, wearing me sandals, walking around with a smile on my face.
In your Daisy Dukes.
Just fucking right up the back, no belt on, fucking folded me shirt up the front so you can see the bottom half of my areolas. So fucking skimp down the street drinking one of those fucking bubble iced teas with a smile on my face. I'm walking into fucking whatever art exhibit I'll stumble past in Sydney being like, oh well, might as well find out what culture's up to here. In my head I'm going, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that happy. That's not me. I'm this miserable cunt. Like,
you don't want to be. You know, it always springs to mind that scene off South Park where Kyle's dad's been a troll, and they're like, yeah, but he's got a sad little life, and then it cuts to him dancing through the streets with a fucking happy music playing.
Aye. I just don't. I can't imagine like fucking. I want to be that. I'm going to go out and I'm going to enjoy all the things. I'm going to enjoy being outside. Instead of reading in my hotel room, like, even if I just want to read, I'll not read in my hotel room. I'll go to a park and I'll read in a park. But I fucking guarantee you, the second I walk to a park and I sit myself under a tree, I'll open up my Kindle, a loud voice in the back of my head is just going to go, what a cunt. Fucking look at the state of you under a tree. Fucking who are you? Like, what?
You think now you can read your book? Oh no, we're in Scotland.
No.
It's not the weather for it. I thought it was like a pandemic specific thing.
No, I mean you can't. I was literally saying this to Cara. We just went on our daily walk there, and I was like, there's so many good places that you could just, you could have a fucking picnic here, just hang out here. Like, we're pointing out places when it's a bit sunny and stuff, we can come hang out. But we're Scottish. I don't mind sitting out in the fucking rain, right? If there's an umbrella.
Just wrap up.
Aye, like I've. You just fucking. You can't do things weather permitting in Scotland. You learn to do things while wet. Yeah, you learn to do things while fucking windy. But
I do miss like going just sitting in a cafe. So you just start my day like that, especially hungover. You get up and you just fucking wander to the nearest cafe, especially like living in a city when we had the.
I used to kill time by just going into town and doing fuck all. Just change the scenery, walking around, going shopping for shite you don't fucking need. Miss bowling. I didn't even like bowling. I didn't even like it.
You just
I bowled once a fucking year.
You just went that in Colorado and we're just bowling with strangers.
Aye.
There's people that we just met that day. We're like, should we go bowling?
Let's go fucking do it.
There was a guy around fixing me guttering.
Aye.
And I got chatting with him. He's like a friend of the family, like a handyman, friend of the family, Natalie's family that come to fix my guttering and that. And I just stood chatting to him, and I started talking about my work and what I used to do and all the touring that we used to do together. And because it's now got a year since it really happened and it's in all of its glory, I feel like I'm talking like a has-been.
Aye.
Like, you know what I feel like? I feel like the wrestler from Peanut Butter Falcon.
You can also say, I feel like the wrestler from The Wrestler.
The film I used to be somebody.
Aye.
I'm talking I'm talking wistfully about like fucking all the travel we used to do, and you know that I miss that structure from my life of like that we used to whinge about. We used to whinge about like you've got to get up at this time, you've got to get to the airport, you've got to catch the flight, you've got to get to the hotel, you've got to check in, you've got to get the sound check, you've got to do that, right?
Back in the good old days when somebody used to tell us what to do as opposed to me working out what I was supposed to do.
That structure, I whinged about having to fucking follow that structure.
I just... Marlena, I know you're listening to this. Do not take this as us wanting you to send us a fucking itinerary.
Oh, shit. Delete that. Delete that.
Oh, no, I do, man. I fucking...
Yeah, that when I was saying about, I don't know how I've gotten through a day, so many hours have passed, 16 hours have passed, but I look back at the stuff I've done and I can't really put like a comprehensive list of what I've done together, right? Yet I've somehow been too busy to do some stuff I want to do.
Right. In those same 16 hours, I used to be able to go from
switch countries?
To go to a different fucking country, dress myself, feed myself, meet new people.
Make 2,000 people laugh.
I go on stage, do my fucking job, go out drinking till 3 a.m. and then do the exact same thing the fucking next day.
And I didn't realise how much fulfilment came from that.
Oh, I mean, I did. I fucking... I keep saying this.
Like, I'll be able to dig out a couple of podcasts where you totally complain about it and say this is the life you'd dream to live. We are absolute grass is greener on the other side muggles.
Aye, we are. Aye. Yeah. This has given me... I think this has
It's the moderation, man. It's the moderation. We're fucking... Aye, we just want a good balance, man.
Yeah, this was like, you've gone the polar opposite of the other fucking way. This isn't slowly. We've gone cold turkey.
Aye. I do say though, I have enjoyed nesting. Like it's been a different vibe for me now that I've moved into my house. Like you're still in this like same spot that you've been in since the beginning of lockdown, so it's hard for you to like cut it into phases.
Aye, but it's still been good, man. Like as much as it's obviously been difficult, I'm never ever going to complain about how much time I've got to spend with Cara. Man, it's all I fucking want.
She has been a fucking godsend for you.
I can't imagine. Imagine, right? Imagine she just hadn't fucking come to that fucking show in Edinburgh. Because that was when we reconnected. Like, she sat fucking... And she was forced to... Not even that. If she wasn't forced to fucking sit in the front row of the show that we met during the ICC, how badly I would have taken this lockdown.
Why did she sit in the front row again? Was she late? And that was
she was late and it was the only available seats.
And you recognised her when you saw her in the front row? Because you thought she was someone else?
Well, because I looked at her cleavage, I went, I recognise those tits. Oh, no, I don't. Similar.
Did you actually think it was your ex when you first saw it?
No. No, but I knew I recognised it, right? Because but the one bit that made me feel fucking shit was there was like, it wasn't just like this is a girl I met at a party once. I'm like, this is a girl I've spent a night with, like not physically I spent it, but like we were together during a night out. And I'm like, how the fuck can I not? And she does look so very fucking familiar. And then it just clicked, and I was like, are you my ex-girlfriend's younger sister? She was like, yep. And I was like, oh, well, here we fucking go. And
now you're getting married.
Her dad, I love her family very, very well. Not all of them, obviously. No.
I love them one at a time.
Aye, I do it incrementally. But her dad's great. He's a big loser. He's like, you got to remember,
Loser in what way? Like,
he's been with his wife since they were 13. She's been the only woman ever in his life.
My mum and dad, Linda and Kev.
Aye.
My dad lost his virginity giving birth to Gav.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I know what you meant.
Do the math.
Aye. But he's only ever loved this woman, and he's still in love with her to sort of this day. But he just every time we go up to visit, he makes me tell the story again of when I saw Cara again. He's like, just imagine she hadn't been there. What would your life be like now? And I'm just like, Dave, I tell you what, I'd have a lot more sex and I'd be a hell of a lot sadder. I'd be a fucking monster. Like,
did you say that though? You said that. You said that though. You said, and have a hell of a lot more sex.
Well, because her dad sometimes feels guilty because, like, when me and Cara first started courting back when the days when it was
courting,
back when it was still, fucking frowned upon, and her mum and dad were, and I will say this, rightfully against it, right? Because her dad has apologised to me about this. He was like, I'm really sorry, because I used to say to Cara, you know, he's just a fucking sleaze. He's just out there shagging around, and you're just one of those. And I'm
And you're
like, Dave, Dave, you've nothing to apologise.
What's wrong with that?
I was that fucking piece of shit, but this has, you know, made me fucking slam on the brakes, look at myself, and...
I mean, the rest of them feel like they were special as well, but they got carried away on this one. Lockdown's strange, man.
But it's been, yeah, I mean, that aspect...
Have you now spent more time in lockdown with Cara than you've spent out of lockdown? How old's your relationship? Your anniversary's on the 14th, was that 2 years?
That's like that's our official, like, boyfriend-girlfriend anniversary. We were shagging for, like, 2 years.
Oh,
prior.
yeah, so you were. That was like your forbidden fruit phase.
Oh, yeah, and that was great. Back when it was proper frowned upon, even Jill, Cara's best friend, was against it then. It was class. Jean fucking hated it. It was really good.
Did she?
Yeah, and Jean absolutely had a point. Yeah, everyone had a point. Because Jean was like, this is such a...
I was so ambivalent to this whole thing. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
You were part of the...
I didn't realise there was a big moral quandary about it going on between all the other friends.
Jean's point was very much, she was just like, you're just doing this because it's a fun story. And I'm like, yep. I mean, part of that's true, yes.
Oh, you did get pushed together by it being a fun story, because it was like, if the shoe fits, you'll wear it. You just weren't actually, until you got accused of it.
Yeah.
And then you were like, well, if we're going to get fucking punished for it, we might as well.
Aye, the second everyone decided the story for us, and we were like, all right, we'll fucking play the characters. And I mean, I obviously don't regret.
You're a ref like Daniel Day-Lewis.
But
You're really getting into this role.
I can't believe I've come out looking good in this situation. That's the bit I can't believe. I can't believe every time I go up to see her parents, they hug me. By any rights, her dad should have knocked me out the second I rang the fucking doorbell. But he's a better man than I.
Mm-hmm. I think we're remarkably good with in-laws. Like I've since I've been back in Glasgow, I've been spending a bit of time with the in-laws. I am the in-law whisperer, man.
Your in-laws aren't allowed to watch your stand-up.
Aye. Not by me. I don't give a fuck. Natalie's just very aware that there's routines where I dribble her spunk across the stage. Her spunk?
Her spunk?
Well, yeah, I hair spunk. Yeah, lady spunk too.
They don't.
No, they do.
No, they don't.
No, they do.
They certainly do not make semen.
because when I give that to her, that is then hers. I don't want that back.
It's a gift, aye.
It's a gift.
Aye.
So she takes the spunk from me,
aye,
hence making it her spunk.
Right.
And then she dribbles her spunk on the way to the bathroom.
But is it not just...
And I track her down like she's a wounded deer. That's the bit.
And that's the bit she doesn't want your parents to see.
Well, every year, right, she'll go, my parents could probably come and see your show this year. And then she'll see a bit in it and go, well, they can't see that bit. So,
and you're like, what, the best bit?
Aye.
The bit that gets the biggest fucking laugh.
The bit that if I turn this show into a club set, I'll close with it. So she's like, if they're coming, you not do that bit. I'm like, well, they're not coming then.
Aye, like, I can't, I need to rip this fucking gig, like, as much as I want to impress your parents.
Yeah, and the other one, because the Punch Drunk show was the show that they should have been able to go see, really. Mm-hmm. But then I had a bit about the engagement ring being a first-hand engagement ring, and I didn't realise how important that was, because some people use a family heirloom, and I used to think it was cheap to have grandma's ring passed down through generations, but still there's an air of romance to it. But then I found out that just still touches your dick from time to time, so that ring has 100% touched your grandma's cock. Right. So it's like, if you're wearing your grandma's engagement ring right now, just know that it's touched your grandma's dick. She was a good time. They both had a great time. It's not just look. Just
probably didn't clean it under. She probably didn't even clean it under her tab. She probably just licked it off.
Aye. So I'm just basically putting that thought in people's heads that it's touched your grandma's cock, and then Natalie was like, well, I don't really want my mum and dad to see that bit. But this is the thing. She's more prudish on their behalf than they are themselves. Like, anytime there's like what we'll watch something, Hugh Grant's in it, and he's a bastard. Could be any movie with Hugh Grant in. Could just not be a movie, a documentary about him. And there's like a sex scene or something, and Natalie's just like fucking mortified because her mum's watching a sex scene and she's never seen anything like that before.
Clearly not.
It's just like, oh no, we need to turn this off for me mum, as if like she's one of the kids in the room. Like she doesn't turn it off, she just fucking freezes up. Like you can feel her physically tense in the room. And then Natalie's mum's like, oh, I've got she's getting logged into Netflix or something. She's like, oh, I can watch Bridgerton now. I've always wanted to watch Bridgerton, and I've never seen that, but apparently like there's just lickies in every other scene.
They lick each other out?
I think they're just constantly licking each other out.
Fuck off. In Bridgerton?
In Bridgerton, I think they're just constantly, it's just all
I
pleasure.
fucking swear, if I start watching Bridgerton and they're not licking people out, I'm in quarantine for
I've not
fucking
even
2
seen
weeks.
it.
Well, you can't just fuck, you can't...
I'm just aware of it because I know that they lick each other out in it. Men as well.
They're licking men out?
Everyone gets licked out. Nobody's safe. Children. Dogs.
Oh. Can I was...
Sorry, to finish that thought, Natalie's like, we need to stop your mum from watching Bridgerton.
Aye.
And I'm like, no, we don't. Stop protecting your mum and dad from seeing stuff that, like, they've clearly seen before for you to merely exist.
They've obviously, they used to rail each other. They used to be really good at, I mean, now they're not. Now it's decrepit old crip dodging sex. But back in the day, you know, I was watching porn the other week. And
were you using porn or watching porn?
What's the difference?
Like one of them you're having a wank, the other one
one
of them you're just like, just got your feet up.
Oh, I was using porn for noble means, and it was good. It was good. There was just one bit, and it made me so angry that I nearly stopped masturbating. I didn't, because that's not possible. But there was just one bit, right? So it's the lady sucking the dick, right, and she's enjoying it, as you know. I mean, I know she's acting, but good actress. And then, and then she just grabs the camera and has it on his face eating pussy, and I'm like, I cannot imagine anything less sexy than watching another man eat pussy. Like, there is nothing that I would genuinely rather watch a man bum another man, because at least I can get off to a cock going in an arsehole. I've come to cocks going in an arsehole before, right? So it's feasible that I would be able to wank to that. But to watch another man eat fucking pussy, oh my man, I nearly sent her a death threat. Like, I was like, what the fuck is this? What is that?
This is such a weird thing to get angry about.
Why am I watching another man eat pussy? Like, that's why have I been cut during a male porn? What is in that for me? What is it? Every other bit of porn I get, what is in it for me? Another man eating a pussy. Am I meant to go, oh, that's me with long hair and a beard?
I don't know, it never crossed my mind before. I didn't realise it was such a...
Because, look, if her face was in it and I can get off to a woman enjoying herself, right? I'm not saying she doesn't...
You're just saying like his head's in the way of a good view. You're just seeing the back of a man's head who's having a good time.
No, I'm seeing it, like it's this way, right?
Oh, so you're not even getting any of it?
No.
You're just getting a belly button, then his head.
Aye, belly button, and then his two beady wee seagull eyes.
Fucking Burt Reynolds touch. That might not even be his.
Aye, and then just her moaning. I'm like, what the fuck is this angle? Like, how did this make it past projection?
I'm just looking at it to his face while he's with a breath.
Aye, look at a man trying.
Vein pulsing in his head.
And don't get me wrong, like, I'm not angry at the because that's great, right? You know, that's a great place to be. Fucking eat her out. But show me her face. I want to see her enjoying shit.
You want to see it from the other angle where, like, you can see a bit of pussy.
Aye.
And you can see her boobs and see her face.
Aye.
You don't want to be like, cut all the good stuff out. I just want his eyes and nose.
The top half of his fucking nose and his eye. Oh, and then occasionally, because he's enjoying himself because he's eating pussy, right? So he's trying to turn her on, right? So and now I'm masturbating to a guy's both of his eyes, and he's raising his eyebrows, being like, "Oh, you like that?" And I'm like, "No, turn the fucking camera around." Oh, I'm just.
The porn is dead for me if the bloke speaks.
Oh, gross.
If I hear that bloke's voice...
I shouldn't see the bloke's face. Like, I should not be able to recognise any male porn star except for their cock. The only part. I should be able to look at a dick and go, that's so-and-so, but...
I tell you what, I get put off by a porn no matter how hot the girl is in the porn. I get really put off if the bloke's got a gut. if the bloke's got a gun, I'm like, did you not know you were going to be in a porn? Did you get called last minute? Tan lines?
What?
Tan lines?
You don't like
Tan lines in a porn?
on either?
Or boobs?
You don't like tan lines and boobs?
Nah. I just think, like, that's your line in the sand. Go back and his dog on the beach.
Aye, it's like, it's weird that you wouldn't sunbathe topless.
That's what I mean. I can't get that out of my head. I just want to have a conversation. Like, I don't want to be wanking with questions. You know what I mean? Like, and obviously. Aye, so.
I remember my friend, I'll not mention his name because he doesn't. He doesn't.
Let's just say Elliot.
Right, Elliot. Right. So my friend, I mean, it definitely wasn't him, but Elliot Steele. This is years and years and years ago before I knew Elliot Steele, but he did it.
When Elliot was 7. Let's still tell the story.
Right, yes, this is like, I'm going to say 14 years ago. I was round at my mate's house and he was normally a happy bloke. I walked into his house and we're like 15, 16 here, right? So we're not mature, particularly mature at that age. I walk in and he's fucking destitute, man. Like he's really...
What does that mean exactly? Destitute? Is that like gutted?
Aye, just like his eyes are looking somewhere, but his brain is clearly fucking empty.
Oh, when you're instantly just like, oh yeah, alright, mate. Like you're just a demeanour that just. Like...
Aye, and he was like, it's just, oh god, and I was like, what? And he'd been watching a porn, and it was anal porn because he loves anal porn, and he was like, I swear it was one of the best shot things I've ever seen in my life. Like it was like high. This is back 2005, right? So he's like it was like 1K or whatever it was, 720p at the time.
HD ready.
Aye, whatever it fucking was, and he'd watched this porn for a full fucking 7 minutes, and apparently, like literally, like the moment the guy came, but then there was a second male groan, and the camera pulled out, and he'd spent 7 minutes masturbating over gay porn, right? But he had no idea because it never pulled out. He was like, does that make me gay? And I'm like, I don't think that's how they get you. like it doesn't.
He's wounded to find it out.
He's 15, 16. Like back in those.
That's been used as an insult up until this point.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But it's just like, oh, fucking destitute. Whereas now I look back and I'm like, you know what? Now that I fucking think about it, the amount of times I've wanked to anal porn and they've not zoomed out, I could have easily come to about 15 to 20,000 bits of gay porn in my life.
Really? No contest anal porn you've been watching?
Sometimes you just go, I mean, you know, sometimes when you, like a hangover wank, when it's just, you just need endorphins in your head, and the only way to do it is to have a fucking jerk off. You don't want to fucking sit down and scroll through.
You know what, I don't know if this is like a sign of depression or what, but like, my last few wanks have been off whatever's on the front page on Pornhub. I haven't even done any shopping. Literally walking in the shop and buy the first thing on the shelf. Like I didn't even know what I came in for.
I think that's all right. I think, you know.
It's not like I'm sorry, Natalie. I'm sexually active right now. Right, like I'm living with me lass. And I'm not really using porn that often. It's not like when we're on tour and I'm like, right, I need something hardcore. I need something a bit different because I'm using porn too much. I'm using porn very infrequently. And I think it's just that I'm just like, any porn will do now. I think it's more of a happy thing.
Just, you know what? Just show me a video of a woman running down some stairs. I'm sure that'll do it.
New boobs, just a bit strange. Do you just do a reminisce sigh about boobs? About new boobs. New boobs. Like, remember other boobs.
No, I don't miss. I don't miss being single. Just in the set, because I fucking nailed it, man. Like I did it.
Aye.
I did it, like in the same way that Terry Reid doesn't regret his career. He's like, you don't want to play anymore. Like I've done it. I've won the trophies. I've lived the life.
You know what as well? Like I feel like being single. Like I look back on my single life with an element of cringe now.
Oh, I was just, what about how fucking gross and sleazy you were?
Yeah, about how like I wanted to be single but not celibate. So obviously, while I was single, I'm trying to get laid. But I was exactly that. I was trying to get laid.
Aye.
There wasn't a gender there with us.
Aye.
I couldn't just have a conversation with a woman without like the fucking mathematical equations passing by my fucking face. Like how do I turn this into something? And like
Aye.
in the fact that women have to live through every man acting like that anyway. I like that I've taken myself out of that. I like that. If I have a conversation with a girl now, that's exactly what it is every single time.
Yeah, but you just kind of wish it didn't take until you were fucking 30 to realise it. You're like, I really wish I'd arrived at that conclusion back when I was fucking 21. As opposed
And no,
to...
it was a necessary thing. I had to be single at some point. I had to be single to find Natalie.
Aye.
You know, otherwise you'd just be your fiance's parents that are just together because they were the first people that they met, and yeah, they stayed out of that fucking sleazy single game. But and I mean, they found happiness. They're a bad example. That worked for them.
Yeah, well,
but like,
they're a good example.
it's a good. But like, a lot of people are in relationships that they shouldn't be in because they fucking didn't.
Just never
They said
otherwise.
stick instead
Aye.
of twist with the lowest fucking pair of cards that they could have.
Aye. Yeah, you just go, mate, the only reason you're in that boat is because you never learned how to swim. Let's not pretend you like the fucking boat.
Yeah,
you just prefer it to the feeling of drowning. That's all that relationship is.
Exactly. So I spent the majority of my 20s saying twist. Had a couple of long relationships. Took them as far as I felt like I wanted to take them, and I was like twist.
Oh,
It took us until then to say stick. So I know how necessary that portion of my life was to find the happiness that I've got now in my relationship. Like it was vital. But I still look back at it and go, I wouldn't like to go back to that.
I know, I don't. I thought I would look back on those days with a little more like, because you sometimes talk to people like, oh, back in the day I fucking used to be out getting birds every fucking night. I go, I mean, I could tell the story in that way, but it's not how I feel about it in my heart of hearts. Sometimes I go, I think part of me was a bit, not all the time, but part of me was just sad looking for any form of fucking companionship in those moments. It wasn't, as happy as I pretended it was at the time.
Yeah, going home alone felt like a failure.
Aye, and we used to fucking pick on each other because.
Oh, remember the one tour where we were both fully single, and I had a couple of near misses where it was my fault I didn't seal the deal.
Aye.
Like, an example of this, right? I'm chatting to a girl all night, right? It's definitely happening. She's invited me back to hers. You're going to the hotel room with the girl you've been chatting to. I go to the toilet at the end of the night just for quickly go to the toilet and then we're leaving. It's like she'll tell us, it's called like cards on the table. She'll tell us it's happening. And somebody recognised us in the toilet. I spent half an hour talking to them. I come back out, fucking her drink was empty. My drink's still full, just gone. The fucking whole place is empty. I had a handful like that where I just fucking physically dropped the barrel. We weren't even thinking about it, and you just started calling us Emil Heskey because he was known to miss sitters. And you start getting ridiculed for not getting laid.
It's so fucking childish, man. And also, but again, like part of that fucking, part of that culture that we did absolutely contribute to.
I read the game.
Oh God, the embarrassment I feel.
You know what, right? I've got a list of books that I've written on my phone, right? And I'm really proud of this list of books because it's ever grown. I'm like, if I live a long, happy life, right? I'm steady on my way to 1,000 books, right? Seeing the game on that list is like seeing Mein Kampf.
Aye.
But not because I read Mein Kampf for educational purposes, but because I was interested in what it said.
Yeah, you're like, what are the Jews up to? Let me just find. No, come on. Like, it's important to hear everyone's perspective. Let's just find out how they did cost the Germans World War One somehow, I guess.
And I was the age I am. I was at the birth of camera phones. And in my world, in the world I was in, that was a device for getting naked photos of girls. And like a lot of girls were up for it. A lot of them would send them.
Back in the early days of Snapchat.
But it started becoming like an agenda to get naked pictures. And I look back at that now, and I don't know if it's because I'm old or times have changed, or if I was wrong then, and I'm like.
Probably that one.
Wrong then.
Aye, that one.
But I look back at me and go, you little fucking...
I get it.
You little cog in the machine that is the problem.
Aye. And that's the bit that's, It's really hard to sit with
there was-
yourself sometimes and
There
go,
was one girl that sent us an advent calendar of naked photos, right?
class, what a lovely lady.
I'd never slut shame on that. That was a fucking wonderful thing to do,
As
right?
I've said 1,000 times, slut shaming requires two things. One, being a slut, and two, being ashamed. And I may be a slut, but fucking hell, I lived a life.
Yeah,
You'll never catch me being ashamed.
I find slut shaming to be the worst thing. It's like you're shaming someone for being fucking awesome.
Well, mind you,
Even though-
we are slut shaming ourselves, but rightfully though, kind of now,
Yeah.
in a way. So not all slut shaming's bad. We're admitting the shame we
So
feel.
get this girl, right? So she sent us this round about Christmas, right? Well, it was the
exactly-
build up to Christmas. It was exactly Christmas. 24 photos, each one getting progressively more and more, but like
Aye.
revealing. And that like kind of fling ran its course. A few months later, she asked for the photos back so she could send them to someone else. She's like, "Tell us you've still got them photos." I was like, "Aye." She's like, "Will you send us them?" To someone?
That could have been a trap.
I'm hooking up with this guy.
Because your answer should have been no. Do you still have those photos? No, delete them.
Should have deleted them. They got new because they died with my old Mac.
Aye.
But I should just wanted them back. So like,
Just pass them on.
when I look back now, like there is part of us that's just like, that was grimy and all that. But there's another part where it was like, that was two people.
Yeah, it was
They
all
made a
yeah.
contract with each other.
It was all consensual. But I think you can still have done nothing wrong, but that doesn't mean what you did was right. That's the ground of how I see my actions in the past. Like I didn't do anything illegal or reprehensible or wrong, but was it great what I did? No, it wasn't. It was, just because it wasn't wrong doesn't mean it was right. It's somewhere in the fucking middle in this. My intentions were sometimes good and sometimes they were just fucking sleaziness. Just fucking sleaziness, and I needed an ego, or I thought I needed an ego, and the only way I could fucking fill it back up was to have sex with someone hotter than me. That was the old, and that's what cheered me up at the fucking time. Whereas now,
You're there again. Personality did that.
aye.
That was my chat.
Aye. Anyway, Cara, if you break up with me, I'm going to live a life.
I can't gotta blow the cobwebs off that old Neil Strauss number.
I'm just saying, Cara, if you ever fucking leave me.
Oh man, if Natalie left me now, I don't think I'd have any drive.
No, I'd
I don't think I'd have any drive. Like,
become a monk.
I just wouldn't be that bothered. I wouldn't need the I wouldn't want the companionship elsewhere. I wouldn't want the sexual relationships from anywhere else. I would want to just probably just be on my own.
I could just get the occasional fucking sex worker to, companionship there like they do.
And then probably regret it straight after, but still to this day, just because it's been a fucking itch that needs scratching for a little bit. Just a sleazy massage.
I'm getting massages when I get out to Australia. That's one bit I've missed. A very middle class thing to miss. I didn't even get that many massages, but before we went into lockdown, like in January last year, I think Cara's parents had bought us a fucking a couples massage thing, and it was great, obviously. And it's every time you go for a massage, it's always the 10 minutes after the massage, you just say to yourself, why don't I do this every fucking week? Like, why don't I treat myself to this more? So me and Cara were like, look, once a week is ridiculous, but once a month. Right, that's what we're going to do. This can be a year once a month.
Sparred as well, so you've got like the jacuzzi and the
jacuzzi,
steam room.
aye, hang out, and you make it a fucking couple's day. And we got 2 months into that, and then this all happened.
And then this all happened. So you want to get back. You want to make sure that you get back on that train.
I don't want I genuinely do not want the. I find it difficult. I don't know which are the sleazy mistress places and which are not the ones, and I do want the not ones. I don't want a hand job after massage. I just want a massage. But there's no way you can ask around and be like, hey, do you do the old
Get out! It's not that type of establishment. That means that do want one.
I was just making sure I didn't want to. I'm not here for a hand job. I'm only here for, a separate type of hand job. A full body hand job.
Everything but.
Aye, everything but the dick. Don't massage my ass.
Not even the butt cheeks. Because that's why I like that in Austria. It was a non-sexual massage, but they did everywhere.
Do you mind that time at fucking
The
altitudes?
massage your ass as well, which is a big muscle that needs massage. And if you can, like, just take. What are you gonna say? Do you remember that time in altitude where we pissed it on each other in the sauna?
No, why would I tell that story? No, but why? What the fuck are you doing?
So what story were you gonna tell?
I was going to tell the story of like it was, like the first altitude because it was when you, me, and Gav were there, right? And Gav in general is an Adonis. Like
Gavin, my brother.
Yeah.
Because I thought you'd said Gareth at first, so just clear that up. Gavin Humphries.
Aye. Gavin, he's ripped, right? He's in.
He's got an overactive enzyme that eats fat quicker than most people. It's like a superpower.
Aye.
I don't think it's very good for his internal organs, but like it makes him look class.
Aye, he's in very, very good shape, and you know we weren't in terrible shape, but we were not in fucking Gav.
Went to a shape.
Aye,
You know?
Aye. So we go, look, we'll all get a massage. 3 of us will go get a massage. We spend all day fucking snowboarding. Let's go for a fucking massage. We go downstairs, and there's going down off at the wall there. Sorry, our extractor fans come off. Here you go.
That would fuck up the audio. So
there's 3 fucking masseuses. Right, you can see them. They come downstairs, and they'll go, okay, if you want to just get changed in your fucking bathrobes. And then clearly they were all like drawing straws to see who was lucky enough to get Gav, and which 2 losers had to massage us.
It was like so blatant.
So
Blatantly good. 2 of them were good in, one of them was thieving.
She was so happy. She comes out, she skips in, she takes Gav's hand, she walks, she's like, what do you want? And then these 2 beautiful Austrian women are so fucking miserable.
She went to the room.
I go on here. Ugh. And you fucking cum. I'm pretty sure most of the oil she used up my back was just her spitting. I'm like, you fucking wanker.
I got a really good massage because she was angry.
The funny thing was, coming out of it though, was Gav didn't get a good massage just because he was so ripped and she was such a small woman. She
couldn't get right into the hard muscles.
It was like fucking kneading marble. Just wasn't going to happen for her.
I need a big burly bloke.
I think, man, I prefer massages off of blokes because I need hard fucking massage.
I got a massage in Antigua, and the last leg of the massage, she could fucking swing an axe that last leg.
Aye.
She's just like Brianna Toth. I mean,
Aye.
I got a belt a massage off her. Fucking class.
Oh, you do need to be a bit fucking in pain. Me and Cara went one last year, and I was like, I think I like mild pressure, and I'm just too socially awkward sometimes that just like, she's like, is that enough pressure? And I said yes, and then just for the rest of the massage, the only thing I was thinking about was just like,
worst thing is, it's hard to up the pressure because you can't just lie there and go harder. It would just be nothing more creepy than you just be lying there silent for 30 minutes and then a voice just from underneath. Harder.
Deeper.
From through the little face hole. Harder. Deeper. We've reached an hour of the podcast, so let us
insult dads.
Let us insult each other's dads, and then take it over the video for the Patreons for the special feature.
Oh, aye.
So we're going to do for the special feature. We're doing Muggle Corner.
Aye.
We're going to revisit Muggle Corner for the special feature. That should be available midweek for you over on Patreon.
Your dad thinks Boris Johnson has done the best he possibly could, and it's an impossible and thankless task.
Because if he didn't say that, he'd look like a fucking moron. Your dad has a clit above the base of his cock.
Your dad attached his suspenders to his socks to stop himself getting a growth spurt so he could dress up as an Oompa Loompa.
Your dad was meant to burst out of my birthday cake and start dancing, but he fell asleep and didn't wake up until I cut him.
Your dad has all 7 Harry Potter books tattooed on his back.
That's a small font or a big back. Your dad found out there was a party in your mouth and everyone was invited, so you RSVP'd and turned up early.
Oh, we didn't pee. Your dad uses his Kindle as a bookmark. Thanks, Guy. I love it. Great. A bit expensive if you ask me, but you know.
Your dad was dusting cobwebs and one of the spiders spindled them up into the corner for later.
Your dad says you should always take time to smell the flowers, which is why he's banned from most graveyards.
I was trying to do body shots off your dad, but he had an epileptic fit and spilled drinks all over your bedroom carpet.
Why are you doing body shots in my bedroom?
Don't ask any questions, it was wild. It was a wild night. So you got anything to plug, Australians?
I'm in Australia, dinosaurs.com.
There you go. Bye, see you next week.
Aye.